All right, Gary. First of all, thank you so much for putting yourself out there for our veteran job seekers. Like we say, people don't follow companies, they follow leaders. So before we get into this field service job in the Cincinnati area, can we learn a little about you and what guided this moment at your company?
I've been in the Cincinnati area my entire life. Graduated high school, went into auto truck mechanics as a career path took schooling for 2 years and was a car mechanic for 3 years. And then had the opportunity to come to Siebtechnik Tema. Well, at that time it was Teima Systems. We've since changed our names to Siebtechnik because we're a worldwide company. So they changed the company name.
Mm-hmm.
And started here when we were very small, only had 1, 2 other people in the shop. Now have about 6 in our shop and have grown with the company. I've been here now 35 plus years.
Before we got on camera, we talked about this, right? It's a privately owned company that still treats people like people. And so you have your team around you is very experienced, right? You have a lot of people who've been there a long time.
Correct. Yes.
That's
Everyone that has come here pretty much stays here. And that's what we're looking for. And we need someone with high mechanical aptitude, willing to learn and be good.
Let's jump into the field service role, right? This is the reason we're here talking. So it's based out of Cincinnati. They're going to travel the country with clients. You did mention that maybe 1 or 2 times a year they make international travel.
Correct.
But what's the job? What are they working on? Where are they going to go?
Most all of our equipment is centrifuge related. It's a high speed dewatering product to dewater a particle from a liquid. Some of our units are tabletop size units all the way up to something that would fit on a semi, but it's inside plants and facilities, and it's a broad spectrum. It's, like I said, it's high speed equipment. And so you're trying to analyze what could cause vibration issues. It could be clearance issues between parts, bad bearing fits, parts out of balance, parts out of round. So you have to be able to analyze those and see the potential problem as a whole and work your way through it. But
it really is a mechanically minded person.
Yes. But we do have many people here with many years of experience that you can contact and work with and ask questions.
And so the strong mechanical background, of course, everything's energized. So they have to understand electricity, read wiring diagrams, all that. But the majority of the troubleshooting is mechanical. What's the travel like? Are they, we talked, hey, we're trying 60 to 70% travel, but is that gone for 2 weeks at a time and home, or is that gone for a week at a time? What does that look like?
Most of our travel, if it's scheduled maintenance, we try to travel or schedule between Monday and Fridays. So you have your weekends, but we do have customers that these plants run 24/7. And if they have breakdowns, we also need coverage on weekends and holidays as well.
Mm-hmm.
But a typical rebuild and or breakdown, typically including travel time, is anywhere from 3 days to 5 days is typical. But that can run into, over weekends, but it's not very common.
And that being said, with these calls, do you have an on-call schedule? Is that what it is? So will they rotate like on call 1 week a month, or how does that emergency call schedule work?
No, I pretty much look at my schedule and know who I've got where, if trips have already been planned. So I know who's available at the time of the emergency or breakdown. And basically just start calling cell phones and see who I can find and round up for a trip.
That hits well in the military. We've been there, done that. It'd be good. And then, we've already talked, it's a private company, so you're treated like a human. You actually, you really enjoy showing up to work. What are the hurdles of the role? Because every time you get into a new job, there's something you got to get past, right? You got to learn the culture, you got to learn the equipment, training. What could they expect those challenges on the front end coming in?
It's just learning the equipment, understanding, but extensive training. We will send a candidate to work with field service technicians as many times as it takes to learn the equipment. And then we'd also probably include some trips with our sales on startups as well. So understand the installation, what it's doing, and how the machine is ran with different products.
Oh, that's great. So they're not thrown to the wolves so much. Oh,
No,
that brings up something. So when they're not traveling, they're working in the shop, right? So they can go travel as they're getting that OJT with a senior field tech, and then they can come in the shop and really work with somebody and get elbow deep in the product, right?
correct. And we do in-house whenever there's a rebuild scheduled and or emergency. Most of these customers have gearboxes that they send back to our facility for a normal rebuild, and then they stock it in their warehouse for the next either maintenance and or breakdown.
Oh,
So if we've gone out in the field and replaced a gearbox, those customers typically send that back to our facility here in Cincinnati, and we schedule through the shop and do a complete rebuild with a full inspection, tear down. We send the customer a quote with all the parts needed based on that inspection. And then once we get approval, the same technician typically reassembles it and then gets it ready to ship back out to the customer.
oh, that's great. So we've got a pretty good idea of the role. Traveling for usually, Monday through Friday, Tuesday through Thursday, except for emergency calls. If you're not traveling, you're in the shop working, mostly mechanical, all tool, like any other mechanic, right? You have your standard tool set that you'll bring to work, but anything that's specific or specialized, you guys will have in the shop, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I have everything we need to educate the veterans on the role. Is there anything that you wanted to tell them that we didn't cover? Anything about the organization, the role, growth that you want to make sure they understand?
Bucket said it's a family organization. We treat everyone as family. And I think you can see that if you look at our history of employees that have stayed here for their tenures. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm here 35 plus years now. It'd be
Yeah.
36 this coming August.
And you're not the weird one, right? You're not the only one.
No.
Yeah.
We-
And that's
Most people that come in here, if they once they get used to our equipment, they're familiar with everything, they're here to stay.
yeah.
And,
See, and that's what I love.
we treat people as family.
So I don't think there's a better way to end a video than on that. I wanted to say thank you so much again for putting yourself out there for the veterans. I know they appreciate getting to meet their future supervisor and learn your expectations from that about the role. And we're going to get to work right now. And if we find that right veteran, we'll send them to you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.